Hey, welcome to Walking the Path. I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever had like one part of you say, I got to get my life together. Let's get going. I got to go for it. And the other part that's like, absolutely not. Let's go back to bed. I'm not getting up. Do you guys have those parts? I have those parts. I have lots of contradictory parts within me. And I used to think for the longest time that that was a sign of my failure or a sign of, um, inauthenticity or counterfeit, imposter. The truth is that we all have multiple voices within us, multiple different sides. And the idea is we don't want to exile any of them because that's what we normally do. The normal move is, oh, go to bed? No, 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 no. We got to double down on discipline, double down on structure. I got to get my life together. So we exile the one part, we collapse into the other part. And then we have this sort of split, right? A shadow. We've shadowed a part. The part that wants rest, not good. We can't rest. I'll rest when I'm dead. This is the idea that I've been exploring is what do we do with these contradictory parts? Well, I'm glad you tuned in. Let me tell you, what do we do with these contradictory parts? One of the things that we do is look at the split. Like what we do at Rythmia is taking the time to see who we have become. What are the parts? What are the ways in which we've adapted strategies that help us survive? And what is that? What are those parts that are helping us survive? What are they protecting us from? They're protecting us from not feeling enough, not feeling loved, not feeling worthy, not feeling wanted, not feeling like we belong, feeling like we're left behind, feeling like everybody's getting it but us. Any of those things feel familiar to y'all? So this is the basic idea. We discuss it at Rythmia. Oy, caramba, what just happened? Sorry about that. Hey, I'm back. We discuss it at Rythmia all the time, but this is what I want to talk about today because we want you to come to Rythmia, but you can do this now, right? There's a polarity within you right now. There's a part of you that feels like I totally trust the universe. God has my back. I'm going to be fine. Everything's working together for my good. And there's probably a part of you that's worried that none of that is true. And you've got to be the one to make it happen. There's probably a part, like there's a part in me that that wants to rest, that's tired of constant pressure, constant pushing. I just want to break. And there's a part of me that feels like, you've got so much to do. You're so behind. You can't take a break. What? Day off? Are you kidding me? You got too much to do. You're just going to fall further behind. These are the polarities that we have. There's a part of you, part of me that says, my control, my control, my people pleasing, all those patterns, my patterns of withdrawal, my patterns of perfectionism, that somehow those are bad. I need to change those patterns, right? Or we have the feeling like I'm not enough. I don't belong. So I better be perfect. I don't want to feel like I don't belong. So I better be perfect. I better control stuff. I better manage my image. I better be better. These are polarities within us. And as long as we're ping-ponging back and forth between the two, there's suffering, because in between those two is a judge, an inner critic that says, you shouldn't feel this way. You shouldn't be this way. That's not what a good husband, good wife, good friend, good father, good mother, good worker, good spiritual person, whatever it is that you are, that's not what a spiritual person is. Spiritual person doesn't react. I'm a spiritual person and then I'm angry. So I have this polarity. Spiritual person, anger. Well, spiritual people can't be angry. Exile the anger and just reside in what? In this like illusion of Zen, like Jedi Zen precision. That's where I'm supposed to live? No. This is what I'm finding. These polarities seek resolution, and they don't get resolved when we exile one and collapse into the other. When I collapse into control and people pleasing so that I don't feel like I'm not enough, I'm exiling not enough or exiling don't belong so that I can feel safe, feel like I belong. But that never resolves the issue. That never resolves the tension. That, in fact, increases the tension, increases the dissonance, rather. What's interesting is what we want to do is understand that I can be spiritual and angry, that I can be disciplined and want to chill out, that I can be trusting in God and the universe and be worried. And that having worry and trusting in God, having a desire to chill out and fuck off, literally, and wanting to be disciplined and successful, we don't have to collapse into one and exile the other. In fact, the judge that says you shouldn't be this way is the additional energy sucker. So first of all, we're losing energy because we're ping-ponging back and forth. Then we're losing major energy because there's this, instant trial jury that's like inside of us go, nope, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. That's not what you're supposed to be. That's not who you should be. You should be perfectly calm all the time, never get angry, totally compassionate towards others, devoted to your spiritual practice, able to fit everything in with ease and grace, always have time for your kids. I mean, come on, that's how you should be. And when we're not, ouch, the suffering. So here's the good news. We don't have to ping pong. We don't even have to decide which way to be. Here's what we get to do. Carl Jung talks about the transcendent function. This idea that when we have polarities within us, the normal move is to collapse into one and exile, to shadow another. But the invitation is to allow both aspects to be in your awareness at the same time. That I can be grateful and disappointed. That I can be responsible and tired. I can trust life and still, wish something else were happening. I can understand and be angry. I want structure and I want freedom. It sounds simple, but it's a very deep spiritual practice, because most of us are trained to pick one truth, one clear identity, one final meaning, one part of us that's right. The other part's wrong. But healing doesn't happen that way. Sometimes healing begins when we stop forcing parts of us to disappear. No exile. No part needs to be kicked out. No part needs to be kicked out of the room in order for you or me to be free. The angry part belongs. The part that's tired belongs. The part that wants discipline belongs. The part that wants a break belongs. The part that wants order belongs. The part that wants freedom belongs. The part that's frustrated belongs. And the part that knows there'll be another chance belongs. All of it. We don't want to foreclose on any of these parts of us. That's what we've been doing. We've been kicking parts out and putting in the parts that we think we're supposed to be and getting rid of the parts we think we're not supposed to be. And this is creating exile. And what we resist persists. So the difference between, that's foreclosing, right? I want to foreclose, get to the answer quickly. All right, I'm disciplined or lazy. All right, obviously lazy, no. Disciplined, yes. Kick lazy out, double down on discipline. Let's go. And that works for how long? I think we've all been yo-yoing through that. One more time. This time I'm going to get it. But there's a third way. There's a different way. There's a third way. And nobody knows that third way but you. It's in you. It's in me. And here's how we get to the third way. The third way is a complete surprise. It's something completely new. It is a transcendence of the poles. It is a transcendence of the polarity. Jung talks about the ability to hold two contradictory polarity, paradoxical ideas in our awareness will create a psychic tension. Now, we're trying to resolve that tension when we split. We're trying to resolve that tension when we privilege one side and exile another. But that doesn't resolve the tension. That's like trying to push it's like trying to push a beach ball underwater. You can do it. You can totally do it. But it takes constant effort, constant focus, constant attention to keep that ball. Because if you don't hold it down, it's going to come up. That's what's happening when we exile one and push another down. It takes a lot of energy. When we allow two competing paradoxical thoughts to remain in our consciousness at the same time, that creates a different sort of tension. And that sort of tension will cause the psyche to harmonize, will cause the psyche to balance. If y'all studied philosophy, it's the Hegelian dialectic, right? Hegel was this philosopher. What do you know? Classical philosopher. Talked about thesis, antithesis, synthesis. So there's a thesis. Spiritual people are this way. Antithesis. I'm a crazy, freaky, not spiritual person. Two paradoxical, ideas. What we normally do is, I can't be the freaky guy. I can't be the crazy, out of control guy. Got to push that away, double down on my discipline. And then what happens? You double down. You're really good. You're going so great. Everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, the beach ball pops up and you go on a binge. Has that happened? Or you there's the complete cessation, maybe not a binge, but the complete cessation of structure and order and discipline. So that's the old way. Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate you. So now we hold them together. I can be like, I'm not exiling the fact, spiritual person and angry. Let's say I'm a spiritual person and I'm angry. Spiritual person should be angry. I shouldn't be reactive. All right. Well, there's my angry part. It's all right. There's my spiritual part. Let's let them be together. Now, here's the difficult part for us. We want resolution. All right, cool, great. What do I do next? Jung says, hold these two paradoxical ideas in our awareness and a synthesis will occur. I'm waiting. When will synthesis occur? Give me a plan. How about a 5-step strategy for synthesis? No, that's the thing. This is the part of allowing in our awareness and trusting that your consciousness, your subconscious, your unconscious, your psyche will find a synthesis. It will find balance. It will find order. It will find harmony. And it will be a transcendence. It will be a completely new way, a third way. It's not like 50% of this and 50% of that, smash them together. There's my synthesis. It is a transcendence of the polarity that you've been working with. This is what I've been walking. This is walking the path. This is walking the path. And so what do? You breathe. Up comes something and we breathe. There's my controlling part. Okay, breathe. There's my wanna fuck off part. Okay, breathe. No part, every part belongs, every aspect, every facet, every energy within us belongs. They don't all get to run the show. They don't all get to drive the bus, but they all get a seat. Everybody gets on the bus. Not everybody gets to drive. This is the transcendent function. And as we hold the tension of everybody being in the bus together, a third way, a new way will emerge. In the meantime, we got to do what's in front of us. I got to take care of my life, but I'm holding this in my awareness. So I'm going to continue this talk next week. So tune in for next week. This is what I've been working on, letting both sides speak. Let them talk amongst themselves. This is the last thing I want to say. Here's how you do it. If you have two competing parts, two polarities, I want you to get a piece of paper. And on one side, I want you to write down what that polarity is, my spiritual guy, and what does it want? What does it need? What is its aspiration? Right? What does it want? It wants, my spiritual side wants to be good. I want to get to heaven, whatever that is, right? Like whatever it is. You don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to be transformed or evolved. I want it to be messy. Put down all the stuff on the one side. And on another piece of paper, write down the opposite, the part that wants freedom. What do you want? I want to feel like I did when I was on a road trip that summer in college. No responsibility at all. I want to be, tied to nothing, to no one. What do you need? Absolute freedom. Write it all down. One page, another page. Then I want you to really get in touch. I want you to fully constellate both sides of you. Let the control, the spiritual, the whatever side speak. Let it speak. Let the other side speak. your body, I want you to put one hand on one paper, one hand on the other paper. Your body becomes the place where both can exist. And allow them, let them kvetch. Let them talk amongst themselves. All right? Talk, let them talk. We'll have a little coffee talk there. And thanks, Per. I love you, brother. Good to see you, Per. Let them talk amongst themselves. And that's the practice. No resolution. A resolution will emerge, not from your mind, not from you figuring it out, but from the tension of those two parts talking. A third way will emerge, but you got to wait. I found myself wanting to jump towards it. Anyway, that's my talk today. That's our talk today. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.